Did you have cocaine for breakfast? No? Are you sure? Because a brand new bombshell expose released by an ex-food scientist reveals that 74% of all foods we eat are secretly laced with a chemical which is scientifically proven to create the same chemical reaction in the brain as cocaine. In fact, it's even more addicting than cocaine itself. According to recent groundbreaking research from the University of Bordeaux in France, when given a choice between this chemical or cocaine, 94% of participants chose this chemical, even after researchers repeatedly raised the dose of cocaine. Like a drug addict, but with an addiction for food. In fact, the study's lead scientist concluded that any calories you eat from this chemical are significantly more dangerous than other types of calories. And this chemical ruins your metabolism, leading to metabolic disease. So you'll always gain all of the weight back. This is the reason you continually yo-yo on every diet you've tried. No matter how much you pray and ask for guidance from above, you can't free yourself from that vicious cycle. And as if that wasn't bad enough, this chemical leads to chronic inflammation, which the Harvard School of Public Health says occurs when your immune system attacks your organs and cells, leading to some of the world's worst diseases, like obesity, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, heart attack and stroke, migraines, arthritis, asthma, and yes, even dementia. Yikes. And the scary thing is that you could be creating the ideal environment inside your body for these horribly debilitating diseases and not even know it. And how do I know all of this? My name is Ryan Young. I'm a certified personal trainer, weight loss expert, and nutritional counselor. And this is the story of how watching my neighbor cry led me to discover the poisonous chemical found in 74% of the foods we eat, especially in our so-called healthy snacks, that will sabotage every diet and exercise regime you ever try to keep. But once you eliminate this chemical, you'll not only greatly reduce your chances of dying from those diseases, you'll also experience rapid, dramatic, and effortless weight loss, because you'll immediately reset and reactivate your fat-burning hormones, so your metabolism will regulate itself, like a naturally thin person. So you can eat to your heart's content and still lose weight. It works 100% of the time for everyone, including you, even if you have little time, energy, willpower, or motivation. Even if you struggle with cravings, emotional eating, food allergies, pain, or injuries. Even if you have poor genetics, a slow metabolism, or hormonal issues. Even if you've tried everything to lose weight and are feeling frustrated, discouraged, and hopeless, what I'm about to give you will work for you. Look, if you've ever tried to lose weight, you've probably been harassed with ads for overpromising and under-delivering products before. The truth is, it's hard to trust yet another miracle cure. And if you're skeptical, I get it. I was skeptical too, before reading the science behind it. So you'll be happy to hear that this discovery is all natural and backed up by 254 unbiased, peer-reviewed scientific studies that show the ugly truth about the foods we eat. In fact, every time you see a quote with one of these numbers, it references the exact scientific study, so you can verify everything you're listening to and be assured you'll get the results you've always wanted. Maybe you crave that lean, muscular body you always wish you had, that you thought was forever buried under the fat you can't seem to get rid of, no matter how hard you try. Like Emily, who told me, I finally love pool parties because I look freaking amazing. I used to wear shorts and shirt to the beach. Haha, not anymore. And Sophia, who said, Ryan, I've dreamt of this lean body my entire life, and you gave it to me. Thank you. I especially loved hearing from Rodney, who said, I finally have the energy to keep up with my children, and I'm so grateful for that. Or maybe you want to get back to the self-love and excitement you used to have in the bedroom, instead of worrying about how your hips and belly look when the lights are on. I'll explain everything in this short video on how you can effortlessly lose 9+ pounds of stubborn fat in the next 2 weeks. My inbox is flooded with thank you letters and pictures from people just like you, because everyone who watches this video can transform their life. Just like Amber, who said, I lost 133 pounds without ever starving myself, and I can't believe what a hot body I had hiding under all that fat. I totally agree. And I loved Sheila's transformation, proving that age doesn't matter with this system. These are just a few of the 102,536 users and counting who've experienced effortless and dramatic weight loss. Regardless of their age, sex, or current state of health, they all struggled with weight and tried everything under the sun to be able to lose weight, like starving themselves, strenuous exercise, personal trainers, nutritionists, diet pills, and the list goes on. They packed on more and more fat every year and wanted to give up on their dream of having a healthy, good-looking body, just like the body you're about to experience for yourself, all with 0 calorie counting, 0 starvation diets, 0 exercise, 0 weight regain. That's right, you'll never have to worry about any of those things ever again, all without spending money on invasive surgery or dangerous diet pills or expensive prepackaged meals or useless gadgets to use in your home. And forget about slaving away in a sweaty, germ-filled gym for an hour every day or starving yourself ever again, because you'll continue enjoying all the foods that you love. That's right, you don't even have to put down the salt and the butter. The results are so spectacular that everyone is raving about their success. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, if you need to lose 3 pounds or 300, or if you're 18 or 80 years old. You'll never have to worry about or struggle with weight loss ever again. You'll learn which 2 hormones control hunger and how to make them automatically regulate your body like a naturally thin person, so that you can finally have the body of your dreams. And trust me, the changes in your body will be remarkable. In addition to losing all of your excess weight, your self-confidence will soar. The brain fog and sluggishness will disappear. You'll eliminate toxins and regenerate your damaged cells, reverse the effects of aging, and in less than a month, you could look 5 years younger. But don't take my word for it. Recent research published in the Clinics of Dermatology journal found that this chemical acts directly on your cells to produce advanced glycation end products, causing your body to age faster than it normally would. As if that wasn't enough of a reason to stop ingesting this, the scientists found that this chemical breaks down collagen and elastin fibers, which prevents your skin from being able to repair itself. Collagen and elastin is what keeps your skin looking full and tight. Yeah, the science proves that you look older than you should because of this chemical. But as soon as you stop ingesting this poison, your skin starts to heal at a deep cellular level and reverses the damage you've inflicted over the years. Because of this natural fat reversal process, your fat cells will shrink, making cellulite disappear from your thighs, legs, and butt. I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Because after hundreds of groundbreaking studies from some of the most prestigious and reputable scientific organizations on the planet, institutions like the World Health Organization, Harvard Medical School, Johns Hopkins, Stanford School of Medicine, the Mayo Clinic, the American Heart Association, and literally hundreds of other institutions have proven that the facts are undeniable. Everything we thought about losing weight has been wrong and is now outdated information. That's why you've tried and you've failed, and it's not your fault. Think about it. There are so many ways we're told we can lose weight. Fat-free, gluten-free, low-calorie, low-fat, low-sodium, high-fiber, all-natural, whole-grain, multigrain, plus all of the diets like Weight Watchers, South Beach, Jenny Craig, Atkins, Zone, Beachbody, etc., 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 etc. But are these proven to work for sustainable, lasting weight loss? The answer is no. And you've witnessed this firsthand. They don't work because of this chemical that you're unknowingly eating that is lurking in most of these foods. You can probably see why this information is so powerful and potentially devastating to the profits of the $265 billion food and weight loss industries. So, after you finish watching this video, be sure to hurry up and share it with all the people you care about so they can have results like this too. So get ready, because you're about to experience a complete transformation in every area of your life, just like we've had. This is a picture of me and my wife, Rebecca, in our hometown of San Marcos, California. We are now in the best shape of our lives. And honestly, I can't believe how ripped and shredded we've become, because that's not how life looked just a couple of months ago. I used to be 93 pounds overweight. I remember this day like it was yesterday. I was so exhausted trying just to keep up with my little boy, Alex. I was able to chase him for just about 2 minutes. And then I was so beat I literally had to sit down. And I could see the look of disappointment in my son's eyes. All that my little boy needed from his dad was to just have fun and play with his superhero, but I just wasn't able to give him that. The look on his face shattered my heart into pieces, and that's when I knew I was a prisoner in my own body, and I was a terrible example for my son. It wasn't until I lost those 93 pounds that I realized how much all that weight affected every area of my life. Now looking back, I can see how unhappy and truly miserable my life was. I gave up on life, and I felt like a failure. I always slouched over with zero confidence, and I never bought anything cool and trendy. They just didn't make it in my size. I read an article in the American Journal of Public Health that said overweight people make, on average, 30% lower income levels than their leaner counterparts. So not only was I making less money than everyone else just because I was fat, I was exhausted all day. But what was I doing wrong? I mean, I followed all the advice I heard on TV, yet I felt so sad and defeated because I could never keep the weight off. And man, did it make me want to cry how terrible I looked in pictures. Back then, Rebecca was 77 pounds overweight too. It got to be where she was so ashamed of her body and cellulite that she'd want the lights off before she undressed for bed. I didn't realize how much being overweight was at the root of our failing marriage. After work, we'd just sit on this couch watching TV and pretty much ignored each other. We were more like roommates that shared the bills and raised our child. My doctor said that if I don't lose this weight immediately and get my type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, and cholesterol under control, that I'm 7 times more likely to die of a massive heart attack or be partially paralyzed after a stroke. And how the statistics show that I'm on track to die 20 to 30 years early and miss out on so much of Alex's life. And just when I was feeling totally hopeless and settling into the idea that I couldn't lose this weight no matter what I tried, and that this was the life I was going to lead until I died, I stumbled across this life-changing information, kind of like you are right now. You see, everything changed for me when I went to my neighbor's retirement party. You see, I knew my neighbor Robert worked for a major food company, but I never knew exactly what he did. Everyone was having a good time at the party until it was winding down, and as I was leaving, I saw Robert sitting on the couch in tears. I went over to check and make sure he was okay, but what he told me, the shocking things he described about his job, well, they absolutely blew the lid off what the diet industry had been saying for the past 30 years. It was horrifying. Robert said that his retirement was a joke. He actually resigned from a high 6-figure job after 30 years in the business because he could no longer stomach how his employer was essentially poisoning people. After his mother died from a terminal disease, he realized that he was part of the problem. He blamed himself for indirectly causing her death, and he felt that he could no longer call himself a scientist. Now, as it turns out, Robert was one of the top food scientists in the country. And what he was highly paid to do directly contributed to the public being overweight and diseased. The things he and his colleagues did to the foods we eat every day made it nearly impossible to lose weight on any diet method. He and the other food scientists he worked with had been secretly adding chemicals into 74% of the foods we eat. Chemicals that make these foods extremely addictive. We're talking cocaine and heroin levels of addiction. He went on to say that if you eliminated those chemicals, your addictions to those foods would quickly disappear. You'd experience accelerated weight loss because your metabolism would reset to that of a naturally thin person. So all of your deepest and most hardened fat will literally melt away, along with all of the toxins that were encapsulated in those fat cells. And if you also suffer from any of those common ailments I just mentioned, you'd be able to see them start to reverse almost immediately. He went on to say excitotoxins is what they're called. These are chemicals that make your brain react like you just did a line of cocaine, but all you really did was have a so-called healthy snack. And he said all of this started in the 1980s when the tobacco companies were losing billions of dollars because everyone was quitting smoking after they realized how toxic cigarettes really were. So the tobacco companies decided to diversify and get into an industry that's even bigger and more profitable than cigarettes. Big Tobacco secretly bought the biggest food companies. Their primary goal, now that they were in the food business, was to make the foods we eat as addictive as cigarettes. Now, don't you find it interesting that both quitting cigarettes and losing weight have the same 95% failure rate? And have you noticed that there's been this massive increase in obesity, type 2 diabetes, and a whole host of other medical issues over the last 30 years? Do you think that's a coincidence? Because it's not. We were paid to figure out how to trick your hormones so that you'd become an addicted slave to our products, so that you wouldn't be able to stop eating these foods. Have you ever eaten a half bag of chips and told yourself, I'm stuffed, I can't eat anymore? But then you plow through the rest of the bag until it's empty? Even though your stomach is starting to hurt, you still keep ramming more and more into your mouth? Literally, once you pop, you can't stop? Do you think our bodies were designed to work like that? No, of course not. But these foods are filled with so many of these cocaine-like excitotoxins that your brain is having a dopamine-fueled fireworks show, and that all you can think about is the next fix, that next bite, actually. And then you pay for it. Your belly hurts. You have to lie down after the meal, maybe even take a nap. And then your body goes into overdrive, packing more and more fat into every area of your body. And this is exactly why so many people fail on their diets. He said a researcher at the University of California, San Francisco recently discovered documents showing that the food industry lobbyists paid scientists in the 1980s to downplay the link between this, obesity, and other major diseases. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, Robert told me that the food companies started adding these chemicals to so-called healthy snacks. He went on to explain, I'm talking about the health food aisle of your local grocery store. The vast majority of these foods are not healthy because the food companies laced these foods labeled as healthy to trick you. Vitamin water, fruit juice, low-fat yogurts, and even most healthy energy bars are worse for you and more addicting than an actual candy bar. And those diet foods are just making your weight go up and up and up. He even said the FDA is in on it. In a rare interview with CBS News, former FDA Commissioner Dr. David Kessler revealed that FDA-approved chemical additives are created to be, quote, so stimulating they hijack our brain. The sole purpose for them is to stimulate your taste buds and get you addicted to the food. And they found out that they cause your brain cells to fire erratically until they burn out, which creates significant neurological damage that can lead to seizures, Parkinson's disease, and even dementia. He said it's one big scam that's been going on for decades. Robert and I talked throughout the night and into the early morning. Now, the things he shared with me opened my eyes to things I never imagined possible. It's about the money, baby, not our health. I told myself I would not allow this to happen to me, my family, or my friends, and I'm not going to allow it to happen to you any longer either. Now, you too will lose weight, feel healthy, and look and feel younger than you have in years. A few days after that fateful discussion with Robert, I called him to see if we could talk some more. I wanted details about which foods had these poisons and, more importantly, which ones were safe to eat, which companies were doing this, what these poisons were called, and what we could do about it. Then he dropped a bombshell. Robert said not only is the weight going to melt off when you stop ingesting these chemicals, that's a given, but there's a true holy grail of health that can reverse a lot of ailments. Robert went on to say, some of my colleagues and I decided to try to right our wrongs and find a solution to eliminate these poisons. And we've isolated several specific herbs and spices that you can take at specific times of the day in specific quantities that will regenerate your cells, detoxify every cell in your body, restore your normal fat-burning cycles, and kickstart your metabolism into high gear. These herbs come from the indigenous people of the healthiest places on the planet. Places like Saint Borja, Thailand, and Macau, where they have much lower instances of heart disease and obesity, and their life expectancy is much longer than ours. He said these herbs not only make the fat loss process accelerate faster than you can imagine, they also help prevent the most deadliest of illnesses. And every single one of these miracles of nature are backed by peer-reviewed scientific studies that are 100% verifiable. Like a recent study in Japan by Hiromu Onogi that reported consuming this green juice found in the remote regions of Japan resulted in significant reduction of visceral fat, body weight, and body fat. Researchers have studied a very unique herb from the Yunnan province in China that significantly reduces total body weight and reduces fat cell size. They have found that it also significantly lowers total cholesterol, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. A study in the Chinese Journal of Integrative Medicine found that people who regularly consume this tea boost their metabolism and lose a pound a week without doing anything else to change their diet or exercise habits. In fact, research participants were instructed not to engage in any physical activity for the duration of the study. And I saved the best for last. There's a special kind of tea native to South Africa. Recently, scientists published research in the International Journal of Phytotherapy that found this tea prevented new fat cells from forming and caused existing fat cells to shrink. Robert then said, "Don't get me wrong, eating the right foods is the core of your weight loss. But by adding these teas, herbs, and spices, you'll not only accelerate your weight loss, but you'll detoxify all of those stored poisons from your cells." Just imagine for a minute what that really means. What would the absolute best version of yourself look like when you strip everything negative away? Without the weight, the health issues, the sadness, the guilt, the sluggishness, the depression. Drained of the toxins and absolutely radiating vibrant energy from every cell. Your skin just glowing and looking years younger. Your mind as sharp as a tack, having boundless energy to live an active lifestyle. And because of all of this, the confidence of a movie star, and the certainty that you could accomplish anything. Look, Ryan, you have no idea what's in store for you once you release these toxins from your body. You're not going to recognize your old self. So after several more hours with Robert, and armed with all the information he gave me, I went home to map out a plan. My wife and I would eliminate the foods with these dangerous additive chemicals. Once we knew what to look for and what to avoid, it quickly became clear that we weren't even depriving ourselves. We were actually eating delicious foods, and we never felt hungry, ever. All we did was stop eating the foods with the toxic additives and accelerated our results by including the recommended teas, herbs, and spices. And the effects were nearly instant. My wife said her clothes were already fitting much better, and she said she didn't feel like a stuffed sausage anymore. It was only a couple of pounds that I lost on that first day. But I found myself walking a little taller, my chin up, making eye contact with people. I felt so much better about myself. My skin started to improve right away. The typical sadness and depression I had was already a thing of the past. I felt amazing because I knew that without a doubt that I was finally getting to accomplish my lifelong goal of becoming thin and healthy. After only 1 week, I dropped 7 pounds of pure fat, and my wife lost 6. We weren't even trying to lose weight. We certainly weren't exercising at all. Robert was so right. I honestly felt like a different person. I noticed that my headaches had stopped, that my brain fog was gone. I was feeling sharp and alert. I didn't wake up groggy. After 2 weeks, I had lost 13 pounds, and I was finally starting to resemble the lean, muscular guy I'd always dreamt of being. But I had no idea how much losing weight would impact my health. I went back to my same doctor, and he didn't even recognize me when I walked in. He did test after test and found everything had cleared up after I rid myself of the excess weight and toxins trapped in my body. Anxiety? Check. Diabetes? Gone. Depression? Nope. Cholesterol? Totally normal. High blood pressure? Not for me anymore. And best of all, I saved over $640 a month on prescriptions because I didn't have any of those illnesses anymore. He said I was as healthy as an athlete and that whatever I had done just added those years back to my life. And he wanted to know what it was so that he could use it himself and tell every one of his patients. Can you imagine that? My doctor now asking me for help. A doctor for over 40 years at the world-renowned Cedars-Sinai Hospital wanted to recommend my program to his patients too. I left that appointment with my head held so high. It was one positive thing after another, all from that initial first domino of following Robert's information. And by week 4, I was down 22 pounds, and she was down 18 pounds. And when someone seemed really interested in making that change too, I gave them a copy of the journal that I'd been keeping throughout. Then, something amazing started happening. Time after time, every single time, anyone that followed my journal lost weight, and it never came back. A new community began to form, and a miracle was happening right before my eyes. One night, while lying in bed with my wife, we excitedly discussed all of these successes. And almost as an afterthought, she said, "You have to share this scientific breakthrough with the entire world. Everyone deserves to know about this. Imagine how many people you could help." And she was right. So I gathered our research, logs, and data about the food companies, the poisonous chemicals you'll find hidden in their ingredient lists, the special herbs and spices that blast belly fat, and I laid out the easiest, most comprehensive program to follow. And I call it the Fatloss Miracle. It's the undisputed leader in weight loss, because on average, people can lose 26 plus pounds within the first month. I'm going to show you exactly what foods to eat and what foods to avoid, so your diet will be healthy without those toxic substances. Imagine living life without hating the way you look and feel. Are you ready for the biggest transformation of your life? Your friends are going to notice this change in you and ask you what the heck you're doing. And all you did was follow the simple Fat Loss Miracle system, which includes all of the information Robert taught me, plus everything I learned and logged in detail while helping over 102,536 people lose millions of pounds of excess weight. After helping that many people, I've tested, perfected, and honed this system down to a work of art, so you can lose 26 pounds of fat this month with 0 calorie counting, 0 starvation diets, 0 exercising, 0 weight regain. Eating the tastiest foods you love and crave and keep the weight off for life. You'll remove the cellular blockage that is preventing your metabolism and thyroid from running at an optimal level. You'll get my recommended wellness tracking tools, including the amazing app I use that makes life easy by tracking these toxic chemicals with a quick scan of a barcode, so that you can be sure you are only losing fat while rapidly gaining muscle definition. And if you want to lose 50 pounds or more, you will learn how you can reset your fat-burning cycles in the next 24 hours. It's everything you need to turn your mind, body, and health around, even if you've tried and failed at losing weight before. I don't want you to constantly go through the pains, frustration, and depression for the rest of your life. It's time to end it now with the Fat Loss Miracle program. And that's only the beginning. In fact, as a sign of goodwill for listening to this whole presentation, I'm giving you an exclusive offer today. As a special bonus, today only, you'll get all of the amazing weight loss miracle hacks I've discovered, and I'll also expose the secrets to which healthy fruit juices are actually making you fatter, and it's not what you think. Which nuts to eat so you lose belly fat and lower your cholesterol. Eat the wrong ones and you'll pack the weight on. The inexpensive foods at the grocery store that can blast your libido to peak levels. And if that wasn't enough, learn which butter actually lowers your blood sugar levels. I'll show you the secret water hack that will literally jumpstart your metabolism and make your fat start melting from the second you wake up. Plus, how that water flushes out the harmful toxins in your body which lead to disease. Learn how to turn your morning coffee into a fat burner that makes you thinner with each cup. Which 20-cent drink to have before bed to kickstart your metabolism and burn fat while you sleep. And how you can remove deadly visceral fat and shrink your belly from the inside with one simple change. But there's even more. You'll learn the secret mind hack that the most successful people on the planet use to achieve every wish you've ever desired. This one thing is so powerful, it could be its own product. Plus, you'll get my fat-melting herbs and spices, so you can supercharge your health and weight loss journey and get the mind and body of your dreams. Check out page 3 to discover which spice skyrockets your metabolism and lowers your blood pressure. Flip to page 6 for an herb from India that has the power to lower blood sugar, boost brain function, and reduce anxiety and depression. Turn to page 19 for the superfood NASA is researching for astronauts because it's the single most nutritious food on the planet. And on page 27, the Japanese herb that lowers overall body fat and deadly visceral fat, in a matter of weeks. Frankly, everything you're getting here is enough to change your life faster than you can imagine. But I'm not done yet. Because you're making a commitment to yourself today, I'm going to up the ante. And it includes some amazingly powerful free bonuses that everyone is going crazy about. Bonus 1 is the Cellulite Destroyer. Learn exactly what you need to do to have the amazing legs that you're proud of and everyone compliments you on. On page 4, you'll learn what cellulite actually is, and the answer may surprise you. Flip to page 12 to discover why indulging in this delicious dessert can help you eliminate cellulite. Go to page 14 if an important event is coming up and you only have a week to melt cellulite. Go to page 16 for the most effective 2-minute morning habit that keeps cellulite from forming on your skin. And head to page 20 for a detox mineral bath so that you can wake up to smoother skin as early as tomorrow morning. This bonus is normally $37, but it's free for you today. The second insanely powerful bonus is blood pressure secrets, so you can dramatically lower your blood pressure without taking unhealthy pills. Using scientifically researched herbs and spices you can find at your local grocery store, on page 18, discover the spice that you can add to all of your meals to reduce blood pressure fast. On page 23, you'll learn about the difference in salt and which type you should be using instead. Flip to page 30 for scientific proof on which specific chocolate to eat every day to lower your blood pressure. And check out page 41 to discover the latest research from Johns Hopkins on how to get rid of high blood pressure for good. It's normally $49, but I'm adding it for free today. I'll teach you exactly what you have to take to make your blood pressure numbers plummet back to healthy levels no matter how high they've become. And the third bonus is one that everyone raves about having such a big impact on their lives. It's called the Sex Drive Miracle, and it's all of the secret methods that will revitalize your romantic life and make your relationships much stronger and more passionate. Flip to page 11 to learn how to successfully seduce your partner as early as the next morning. On page 12 to find out what drink you must avoid to get your sex drive back on track. Page 15 will reveal the extraordinary superfood scientists say fixes your sex drive. Flip to page 16 to find the herb from Malaysia that improves erectile dysfunction. And page 20 has a surprising plant that's proven to boost your sex drive and increase stamina as well. Normally $47, but it will cost you nothing today. That's $133 in bonuses, totally free. Everyone is saying that the Fatloss Miracle is the last weight loss product you'll ever need. It's the most comprehensive system you can buy. And if for some reason you don't lose the weight you want, which hasn't happened yet, I'll refund every penny of your purchase. No questions asked, and the refund will be initiated within 24 hours. The truth is, everyone is talking about the Fatloss Miracle because it's such a smash hit, and you can't argue with success like that. This is an investment in yourself. How much would you pay to protect yourself and your loved ones from the health issues associated with being overweight? Think of that number. Now throw it away, because I'm not going to charge that much. I'm not doing this to make money. That's the last thing on my mind. My mission is to transform as many lives as possible, and to make it easy for you to transform your body and your life. And I refuse to ask some exorbitant fee to help you do that today. Even though I've heard from many of my Fatloss Miracle members that after experiencing the results, they would happily pay over $5,000 or more to never have to worry about their weight ever again. But I would never charge that much. Yet I do need to cover the costs for the research, website, and support staff that answer your questions 24 hours a day. It's normally $297 for lifetime access to the VIP members area. But today, you're luckier than you know, because I'm going to give you substantial savings that you can't afford to pass up. I'm going to slash the prices to help as many people as possible. Therefore, today, it is discounted to a one-time charge that you see below. Now, keep in mind that the information in the Fatloss Miracle will be available to you instantly, complete with clear, to-the-point instructions and a simple step-by-step system. As soon as you complete your payment, you'll be able to get everything this program has to offer in minutes by logging into your new members area. You can access the information 24 hours a day on your phone, tablet, or computer. But if you're skeptical, I get it. You're bombarded with science and research paid for by the $265 billion food industries that are trying to keep their cash cow alive by keeping you hooked and addicted. But don't worry about a thing. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Try the entire Fatloss Miracle system out for 60 days. If you're not losing weight, if you're not shedding fat, if you're not a brand new person inside and out, I give you my ironclad lose weight or it's free 60-day money-back guarantee. Simply email me for a 100% refund in full anytime within 60 days. No hassles, no questions asked, and I'll happily initiate a refund for every penny within 24 hours. Now let me ask you this. If you don't get my Fat Loss Miracle, what's going to happen tomorrow? Be honest. I think we both know what will happen. Tomorrow, you'll wake up, you don't want to get out of bed to face the day, you don't even want to get dressed because you hate how your clothes look on you, you'll continue to battle, you'll continue to struggle, you'll continue to feel insecure every day doing it all over again, while the scale just keeps going up and up and up. Your self-esteem continues to plummet, and you'll continue to create the acidic environment that is the breeding ground for the world's deadliest diseases. But if you act now, you'll notice a real difference within a week. All of this because you simply said, maybe, today. You don't even have to say yes because you have 60 days to try out the Fat Loss Miracle program in its entirety. It's completely risk-free. Put it to work and see firsthand how it changes your body. See how it melts the fat away and causes you to shrink before your eyes. You have no reason to hold off anymore. In fact, you have every reason to act right now. Click that button below now to get started. And I'll see you on the inside. Your weight loss coach and mentor, Ryan Young.